EA Sports is proud to present today's PGA Tour coverage. Getting set for all the action on what my idol Vin Scully would have said was a beautiful afternoon here in the Sunshine State. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. Getting ready at Wetlands Golf and Country Club. An interesting layout, Frank. The players are ready to go, and what are you thinking about as you get set to tee off?
Well, you're thinking about you're going to play a long golf course, sort of mid-7,000 yard range, but this is a golf course that you actually do get to hit your driver more often than not. So it's a good driving golf course. Green's relatively flat as well, but be careful if you're a little weak of heart. Look left or right, you might see the odd gator or two.
He just blasted that one down the fairway, out there about 325 yards. Playing his second shot here at the par 5.
Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Coming out of the rough and right up next to the hole. This is for his birdie. -1 in the early going. Now to the second, par 3, 225 yards. Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance really for birdie, but really it was a rather poor approach shot.
Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Solid par to remain 1 under. We're at the third hole now at the Wetlands. It's a par 4, 460 yards. Frank, you watched the Web.com Tour event down here, and what'd you see when the young Bombers came to this hole?
Oh, this is a hole they just love, Rich. You know, it's flat, it's long, and it's straight, so they just tee it up, aim it straight at the green, hit it as hard as they can. And some of these guys were just going in with an 8 or a 9 iron. It was quite amazing. And, of course, when you go with an 8 or a 9 iron to this hole, you look at 3 more often than not. Oh, that's got to be 300 yards, isn't it?
Ready for his second shot, trying to knock it on the green. Well, you can hear it right off the center of the club face. This has a chance to be close. Well, that's how you play the game, right there. Just 5 feet left. Collects another birdie with that stroke and goes to 2 under. What a hole this is, Frank. Par 3, 4, 250 yards, and we're teeing off right in front of the swamp there.
You might see the odd alligator pop its head up. When you look at this, if you want to be clever, you can sort of hit a little cut in here, Rich, and then it'll work with that C-shaped green. That'll keep the tee shot away from the bunker that protects the middle. And you never know, it might just sneak in a birdie.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this. Oh, how did that miss?
Are you kidding me? I mean, that one was dead center. Nothing wrong with that par putt. Good look now at the 5th hole here at the Wetlands. Par 5, and it's a good one. 635 yards.
He's loading up on it.
Look at the coil there. And that ball is absolutely scorched. Just hit a seed out there.
Smoked that one.
Oh my goodness, Frank. Did you see that? He just annihilated that.
He just threw precision out the window. This is all about brute strength, and that is miles.
Settles in, looking to knock it in tight. Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Settles in over the putt. That's a third birdie on the day. Par 4 sixth here at the Wetlands, 440 yards and water to deal with.
Two choices here, Rich. Lay it up short of the Wetlands, or, well, chance it, brave enough, tee it up and flash it across the Wetlands to just a mere short iron into this lengthy par 4. I'm loving that balance.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Well, that is a really good tee shot right there, Frank.
I think that tipped the 300-yard mark.
Looking to keep it going here, Frank.
Yeah, another example of things just working as they should.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
That is a really good shot landing close to the flagstick. Not a gimme, but well within his range. But you have to like that. 4 under. Here's another scoring opportunity, Frank. A par 5. The 7th is just a shade under 600 yards.
And it bends gently to the left, Rich. Longer hitters can obviously get home, and nothing really to be worrying about with that second shot if you can reach. The Wetlands are well to the right of this hole for the second shot. But if you want to play to the 3-shotter, then that's a very safe, conservative way and really shouldn't cause you any problems whatsoever.
We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
So from the rough back to the fairway, that's the right way to go.
Yeah, didn't take the bait, and at least now he's only going to play the price of a poor tee shot. Still got a good chance, though, getting away with par.
Frank, how'd he do there?
Not bad, just inside, sort of 8 or 9 feet left.
Frank, this would jumpstart the round. A third straight birdie.
Some good playing.
Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
Did the job right there. On to the 8th. It's a par 3, 203 yards. What's going on here, Frank?
Interesting par 3, really. It looks anything other than a straightaway hole. That bunker short of this green gives you like an optical illusion. You think it's lapping up with the front of this green. It's actually sort of 3 or 4 yards before you get to the putting surface. A little bit of a drop off behind this green, and it narrows out the deeper the green gets. So a tricky little par 3.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Finishing up the front side here at the Wetlands Golf and Country Club with a par 5, 621 yards. The 9th hole, Frank, is a muscular par 5, 621 yards.
You see why length is a huge advantage of this golf course, just under 7,700 yards. This hole here, another example. Good tee shot. Perhaps think of going for the par 5 and 2, but a great collection of 3 bunkers that sort of annoy you with your layup there. Got to make sure you avoid all of those to leave yourself a nice little wedge shot in here if you can't reach it in 2.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. This shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Setting up for an approach shot here.
This looks like it's going to find the target.
I mean, really on top of his game right now. That was a splendid approach shot. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Makes birdie, continuing to amaze on the greens, Frank.
Putted well all day, Rich. Had a couple of good holes early on and just, I think, found the groove. Has taken it to another level.
Birdie try up next.
You know what's better than 2 birdies in a row?
What's that?
3. That's what he's going for.
That's a turkey in bowling, isn't it?
He's no turkey.
You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. This would give him the par. Well, you can see it there. Feels very good about what he's doing. That's a nice par putt. Stays at 6 under. Par 4 11th hole, 443 yards. Frank, what's the best way to play it?
Nice straight drive off the tee, then really reduces this par 4 to size. Then those bunkers short and left don't really cause an issue. Green's a little tiny though, but even if you miss that green a little bit on the right side, it's a relatively simple chip.
What was he thinking there?
I have no earthly idea.
Well, the stats say that is a green hit in regulation, but it's not yet a par on the card. Very tough putt coming up. That's a head scratcher. No other way to put it. That close to the green and misses it badly to the right. And getting ready for the putt. That puts them at 4 under for the round. Stepping up to the tee at the first par 5 on this back 9. It's the 12th, and it is 576 yards.
Yeah, this hole bends to the right, opposite direction to what 11 does. A good tee shot, and you can actually think about reaching this par 5 and 2, but anything around the front or front left, it's still going to leave a relatively simple pitch shot. So when you stand on that tee, think of birdie at least here.
Oh, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Frank, you played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself, and it's an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit, given the conditions. But once again, this is going to suit the stronger player today.
You like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy?
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze. But a down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more.
These putts keep the round together. Starting to put something special together. 6 under par. Now to par 4 13th. Frank, what are the options here?
Well, another straight one required here, Rich. It's 450. It's not overly long in today's standard, but still, that fairway widens up where the longer hitters will actually hit. And bunkers, once again, short of a green. So as long as you can fly that second shot to at least the front of the green, then they really do not come.
He just blasted that one down the fairway. Out there about 325 yards. Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Just a couple of feet. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been. Good par 3 here at the 14th. It's a little bit more than 200 yards, Frank.
And there's a bunker short. So you've got to fly that coming in there. And if you do miss time one, that's when that body of water to the right really comes into play. Typical Floridian golf, but high-flying, soft-landing tee shot, once again, is the golf.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Getting set now over the putt. Starting to heat up now. Back-to-back birdies. Well done. Stepping up here on the 15th tee at the Wetlands, this is a 590-yard par 5. Final par 5 on the backside here at the Wetlands. It's 590 yards.
Which is really a tempting yardage. A good tee shot, perhaps think of reaching the par 5 and 2. But this green well protected by 3 bunkers, 2 on the left side and 1 short right. But hey, fortune favors the brave. At least that's what I was told.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough. What does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Ooh, the big bopper got a hold of one there. 325 yards. Hello there. Chance to get it close here. Continuing his fine play. Another beautiful approach shot. Not a gimme, but well within his range. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Trying to get out of here without too many bumps and bruises. This one is for bogey. So he has that for bogey. I can't help but think that the double bogey back on the 11th hole seems to have shaken his confidence. Making our move to the home stretch, the 16th. It's a par 4 and a good one at 455 yards.
And a chance to actually get a good run for the clubhouse because The holes are fairly short coming in, so good drive here. Find the putting surface, maybe start the roll right here. Oh, I liked that.
I mean, he just blasted it down the fairway, well over 325 yards. Second shot, good look at the green. Good swing, good shot yet again. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Now 8 under on the day. Here we go at the 17th. It's a par 3, and it takes one good strike. That's what you like about par 3s of this length, Frank. 238 yards. Can't fake it here.
You certainly can't, and that green just shapes a little bit to the player's right. So the best shot to hit in here would be a little draw. And that is also the avenue provided by those two bunkers. One short left and the other one back right.
That will be a great look at birdie. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Final hole here at the Wetlands Golf and Country Club. It's par 4. It's not a long one, 377 yards. There must be some trouble out there somewhere.
Well, not really if you keep your wits about you. Just position the tee shot. You don't have to hit driver down here. Even a 3-wood's only going to leave a short iron. If you hit your 3-wood 250, 260 yards, do the maths, it's only 120 yards left. With that, with a scoring club, try and get that inside 10, 15 feet. Finish with a birdie.
But if you stray, then what?
Oh, no. We don't think of straying on this hole. This is the last hole. Got to finish well.
But I'm thinking about gators. Are there gators out there?
Well, there's gator on the menu.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. Shouldn't be a problem here. Nothing wrong with that par putt. Frank, I have to say, I've been impressed by the level of golf today. Really came out here with a solid game plan and executed.
And consequently, a very solid round. Continuing with that kind of play can certainly put you in the winner's seat.
This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobila. We are back in the state of Pennsylvania getting set to kick off the round here at one of the great golf courses in the world, Oakmont Country Club. Frank, you're very familiar with it because you were right in the mix down the stretch at the 1994 U.S. Open right here at Oakmont.
And Rich, it's so good just to be back here. You know, there's so much history in Oakmont. It's been a host to so many prestigious tournaments in our sport, such as the U.S. Amateur, the U.S. Open, the Women's U.S. Open, and the PGA Championship. It's just one of the true gems on the golf landscape. Oh, that's fine.
That's an absolute tracer right there. In the fairway and well over 320 yards. This is a good-looking shot. On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it's going to hurt the cause.
On the tee, ready to go. Well, this one's sweet, Frank.
Super.
Frank, not overly long, but still a pretty good spot and in the fairway.
Yeah, that's in that 280 mark.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. That's how you play the game, right there. Stick it in close and then knock in the birdie. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. That's a head scratcher. No other way to put it. That close to the green and misses it badly to the right. +1 in the early going. Moving on to the third hole now. Again, it's a par 4 of 428 yards, but you can see the distinctive bunkering on the left, making this, Frank, one of the most famous holes in golf.
It is. The church pews that adorn the left side, they're no fun to be in, that's for sure, because somehow, invariably, you always seem to get behind one of those grass strips behind, and all you're left to do is punch out. Not just that, too, the amount of bunkers on that right side really narrowed that down. Now, this tee shot plays downhill, and then you've got to be ready for that uphill second shot.
Ready for a second shot, trying to knock it on the green. That is an excellent play right there. The approach, getting him another good look. But now a chance for a birdie. That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Okay, has it, and stays at 1 over par. Frank, at Oakmont, you have to take advantage of scoring opportunities when they present themselves. Is this one of those moments here, the par 5, fourth hole at 609 yards?
It'll certainly be one of the holes that determine the champion, because the difference between making 4 and 6 on this hole is extremely slim. Very, very stringent tee shot. You're heading towards those church pews and trying to cut the ball away from it. It's easy to see why Jack Nicklaus, who faded the ball, and Ben Hogan won around here.
Okay, the second shot now at this par 5. Well, this is going to be an interesting day. The wind is howling, or as they would say in Scotland, just a wee breeze. Now his third, staring right at the green.
Rich, I thought he could get this close.
That just is amazing. Just a mind blower right there. Absolutely incredible. He made the shot. And now the fifth hole, short but challenging par 4, 382 yards, and it obviously rewards precision off the tee, heavily bunkered along the way. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Just like that, now at 2 under. And now to the par 3 sixth here at Oakmont, measuring in at just under 200 yards. We have a couple of hundred yards to this flagstick. Can't hide the flagstick from that man. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Well done. Another birdie, and now 3 under par. And we've come to the par 4 7. It is 434 yards. This has really been an airtight performance to this point, just flawless. Frank, not the longest hitter, but sometimes you win tournaments by putting it in a good spot, and that's where we are right here, 280 yards out.
Yeah, 280 down the middle of the fairway. That'll never get you in trouble. Oh, this is straight at it.
That's a really good line. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Frank, this would jumpstart the round. A third straight birdie.
Some good playing.
Starting to fire on all cylinders. A couple of birdies in a row and now 4 under. The par 3 8. This is where Angel Cabrera, Sunday at the U.S. Open in 2007, made a deuce, and it was set up to play at 300 yards on that final day. This is all you want, Frank, in a par 3.
Yeah, it was the first 300-yard par 3 ever in a U.S. Open.
It should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
And getting ready for the putt. With that, moves to 5 under par. Here we are at the 9th, par 4, 477 yards. Frank, this is a rugged hole.
It is. It used to be a par 5. Some say it should still be a par 5. Long, straight hole, runs alongside the first hole there. Bunkers left and right. And, of course, if you find the rough, the remnants of what it used to be a par 5 is the nice little cross bunker in the middle of the fairway, which forces you to lay up.
Frank, it may be obvious you'd rather have a ball sitting up perfectly in these fairways as opposed to the deep rough off to the left or right. But how is a player able to take advantage when he has that good lie?
Well, anything better than that would be sitting on a tee. That is a perfect lie. It almost guarantees good contact.
Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie.
Rich, I'm starting to lose count. This is just birdie after birdie.
It's all-time stuff. I mean, this is territory we just don't visit very often. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Just a superb performance on the front side. He's hoping to keep it going here on the back 9, Frank.
The game is so much easier when you're swinging well, putts are going in. Really, you've just got to keep out of your own way. There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. So that sets up a tougher second shot, missing the fairway with the drive, now in the rough. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Down, little Sheba, down. Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him. Really. This is an awkward length.
Well, Frank, it's our job to get excited.
You can't when you leave it short, though.
I'm sad.
He's making my job hard.
Good, confident stroke. That's what you like to see. Putting for par. Stays at 6 under. Pretty short hole here at the 11th. It's only 379 yards, par 4. And that one lands in the first cut, Frank.
Interesting choice coming ahead here. It'll be interesting to see how he reads this lie. Should be safely on deck.
On the green, and a chance for birdie. Just want to nestle this one down to within a couple of feet. Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read. And missed out on that second part. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Just hammered that par putt, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he was thinking or what was going through his mind right there, but he better wake up in a hurry, because if this one doesn't go in, then that score's going to rack up very quickly.
You hate to miss the short ones. Ouch. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. That puts them at 4 under for the round. Well, the par 5 12th here at Oakmont is no cupcake. It measures in at 667 yards. Excellent start off the tee. That's a great way to begin this hole.
Second shot.
Frank landed it on the green.
It was never going to stop.
No chance. He'll need to be strong with this. Well, that's how you play the game. Right there. So a tester from 4 feet. Racking them and stacking them right now. 6 birdies for the round. From a long par 5 to a relatively short par 3. We're at the 13th at Oakmont, 183 yards. Frank?
Another hole, because of the shape of this green, that you're almost breaking down into 3 sections. That front little circle you can see, the bit in the middle or the bit at the back. You're trying to play to one of those 3 sections.
Birdie try up next. Good chance here. Currently at 5 under par. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Getting set now over the putt. We're just playing a nice round of golf. Has that one for par, and now at 5 under par. Rich Lerner back with you at the 14th hole at Oakmont. And this is a hole that offers up a pretty good scoring opportunity, a short par 4 at 358 yards. Frank, this one's not looking good.
Yeah, certainly not down the fairway line, heading toward the rough.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are, because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Good swing, good shot yet again. Midway through this back 9, could use this birdie here at the 14th. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. Oh, he's going to love it. Great putt. All teed up at the 15th. It's a par 4 to 499 yards. What a test here, Frank.
It certainly is. The tee shot here is a little bit like the par 5 12th, where the fairway slopes quite severely from left to right. It means the pews there on the left side are actually not a bad place to aim at. You just have to allow for that kick and roll towards the right.
Well, it is nice to have that one.
Yeah, that has to be at least 315 yards.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
That's well played. Now a good look at birdie.
It's that sneaky distance.
He really has it going now. Back-to-back birdies. Yet another demanding hole here at Oakmont. Par 3 16th, 231-yard par 3. Frank calls for a well-struck long iron.
It certainly does. It's going to favor something that's hit a little higher and a little softer. If you could just mentally cut this green in half and just sort of look at the left half of this green, that's really the best way to play this hole. And the reason why is the general contours all move to the right. That ball can still funnel down to the right side of the green.
That's a good shot right there, about 15 feet away, and a good look at birdie. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
This would give him a bogey. So he has that for bogey. I can't help but think that the double bogey back on the 11th hole seems to have shaken his confidence. Now on to the 17th hole, and Frank, in so many ways, this determined the outcome of the 2007 U.S. Open. Jim Furyk had his issues here. It's just 313 yards, but it can really play with a player's mind.
It's such an unusual par 4 for a U.S. Open, plus also where it comes in the round, because the options, and there's only really two, is like a 4 or 5 iron, sneak it up the right side, or you take a driver directly at the green. You would think there's something in between, but really there isn't. And that's why, to your point, it stopped Jim Furyk, it stopped Tiger Woods, it allowed Cabrera to win. It also helped Ernie Els, who went with the driver option back in 1994. So 17, it's short, it's tempting, it is at a U.S. Open, but it is still demanding.
How about 7 under par now? This is where so many of the legends, from Hogan to Nicklaus to Miller to Els, made their imprint. And don't forget about Angel Cabrera, the last time the U.S. Open was played here. The 18th hole, the clubhouse straight ahead. What a view, and what a moment in the championship. That ball's run out certainly over 300 yards, Frank. Call it about 310. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, just some great golf here today.
Yeah, that's a round to remember. Not often you play that well and you